part of the program that you are put first for job openings. So as being part of Atlas Cadet Academy, you are first in line for any interviews that are offered. So the way that we do it is a little bit different than the generic route, right? Anybody knows, because passenger is very specific, right? With cargo, it's actually really different. You do still all the same certificates, so your day-to-day is pretty much the same as any other student at Illinois Aviation, but the advantages in your training is your leadership development. We have an app that allows for fireside chats, which the incredible James Brocksmith, who is a VIP captain for Atlas, he came on and gave one of the best presentations. I am not a pilot, and I was like, yep, I'm signing up. Sounds good. Let's go be a pilot. But he was able to show real-life photos and chat about his experiences in the industry and Atlas specifically, which is amazing. And that's exclusive to our Atlas cadets. After that, once you get your CFI II, you are put first in line for a position at Illinois Aviation. And because Atlas has an unrestricted ATP of still 1,500 flight hours, they do want to offer our students specifically an opportunity to work for Part 135, which is basically corporate cargo. So what they do at a certain amount of hours so that they would qualify, they would be able to go and get 250 hours of high performance time with our partners, Plane Masters or Castle Aviation. So they would be able to get time in Caravan, a Saab, a Beechcraft, whatever is open at that point. They would be able to go through that program, and then once that time is done with the Part 135, could that be a year or two, that is a conditional job offer for a first officer position at Atlas Air flying the wide bodies 747, 777.
Sounds like a great pathway to get it done. You know, historically that didn't exist. You graduated,
Right.
you
Correct.
graduated a flight program, and they said, you know, you want to work here? No, well, good luck. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for 3 years of dedication to this.
Right.
So speaking of that, not that it's required anymore, but when I went through the ranks, a degree was required to get on with the airlines, even the commuter airlines. So do you offer, again, not that it's required any longer, but do you offer a degree program at your academy?
So we actually have another partnership with a local college that is, it's called College of DuPage out of Glen Ellen, Illinois. And they have a aviation management degree that's actually really unique in the aspect of, one, it's 2 years. Two, it's an aviation management as well as flight in those 2 years. So you're getting both. And even if you didn't want to do the Atlas pathway specifically, they do allow for a 1250 restricted ATP. So you can get your degree in 2 years and have that aviation degree if you were looking to go to another pathway.
Sure, that's great. That's a great opportunity, and a lot of companies are doing exactly what you have done with both Spartan and your DuPage College. So that's a very nice benefit for those who want that degree.
Yes.
So do you fly yourself?
You know what? I don't.
What?
I know. I am kind of a weird into aviation. I responded to an Indeed ad for a front desk position almost 4 years ago now. So I've been with Bob for as long as we've been around, and I just fell in love with the industry. I love the fact that we have the College of DuPage program as well for that aviation management side, because that's the side that I love. I love the pilots. I love the interactions. I mean, I'm at Sun and Fun right now for work. It's a very interesting and constantly developing industry that I really appreciate.
Well, it is, and you touched on it. It is a crucial, like I said earlier, behind every pilot flying, there's 17, 18 people making the airplane fly. You know, people that fuel it and work on it, the admin staff, dispatchers, and I know Spartan does a lot of that stuff as well. You know, Spartan has a broad scope. So congratulations, that's quite an opportunity that you're presenting the folks in your local area.
Thank you so much.
So what's going on in the future? What are your future plans there?
I know that there is still absolutely growth on the horizon. We are definitely not stopping here. So expanding into more airplanes, more advanced avionics, expanding. Yes, definitely expanding on our partnerships as well for the Part 135s and Atlas specifically. It started in June of last year, so we're at an evolutionary standpoint and can't wait to grow from there.
I just can't imagine, if I were in that position, I can't imagine not taking full advantage of that Atlas connection.
Oh, it's an incredible opportunity.
Savannah, would you speak to the CFI visit that?
Yes.
Yeah,
one of the advantages while you're a CFI is you actually get to go to the Atlas training facilities. So that is Miami and Cincinnati, and we take a group of CFIs that are getting close to that 135 time and actually get exposure to Atlas in its entirety, understanding the scheduling, talking to the actual Atlas pilots. All of that stuff happens. They actually get loggable time in the 747 simulator, which is incredible.
Those connections and having those mentors right there, that's invaluable too. If you can do it, I can do it.
Yes,
right? So, well, thank you for your time today, and tell us again your website.
It would be atlascadetacademy.com.
And the city is in DuPage?
DuPage Airport out of Chicago.
Well, thank you for your time today, and congratulations on teaming with Spartan. I mean, you're historic now, and are part of a great history now. So congratulations, a fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Sun and Fun, we're going to step away and take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. We'll be back with you in about 5 minutes.
You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/sunandfun.
Sun and Fun welcomes our veterans and active duty military. There is so much to see and do at the Veterans Plaza near the main entrance. You can visit the Veterans Welcome Tent, military displays, war reenactors, VA and Veteran Services, daily presentations in the Air America tent, live entertainment Friday and Saturday at 1700 hours, and much more.
Country music fans, get ready. On Tuesday, April 1st, Tyler Hubbard and Uncle Kracker are bringing the party to Sun and Fun 51. With an incredible 22 #1 hits, Tyler Hubbard will light up the stage with smash songs like 5'9" and Back Then Right Now. Plus, multi-platinum artist Uncle Kracker joins the fun, bringing his signature sound and fan-favorite hits like Follow Me and When the Sun Goes Down. The concert is free with your Sun and Fun admission. Gates open at 6 p.m. on the Warbird ramp. Florida families, are you overpaying for insurance? James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue is here to help. This veteran-owned small business can help you save big on auto, home, boat insurance, and more. They just helped the Lakeland family save $1,000 a year. And with exclusive discounts for veterans, military, and government employees, their rates are so great you'll shout, "Holy moly, Boley!" Call or visit James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue today, or visit boleyinsurance.com.
Hey Sun and Fun fans, we have a new area called the Sandbar, which will be co-located with our light plane area in Paradise City and will house food trucks, a large shade tent, picnic tables, and benches. The best part? Sun and Fun Radio will be piped in so you won't miss a single thing, from our great interviews to the daily air shows, night shows, and sunset aerial circus. Turn up the fun at 51 and get your tickets now for the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida, April 1st through 6th, 2025. If you missed it last year, now's your chance to witness the most epic night of entertainment in the sky. Sun and Fun 51 is taking the night air show to the next level with an electrifying fireworks celebration featuring drones, lasers, airplanes, pyrotechnics, and more. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind aerial spectacle where the sky is a stage and the show is like nothing you've ever seen before. Wednesday, April 2nd and Saturday, April 5th at dusk at Sun and Fun. Sun and Fun wishes to thank our sponsor, Flight Simulation Association. Flight Simulation Association is committed to expanding the impact of flight simulation in real-world aviation. You can visit them at the Bueller Hangar across from the Boeing 727 during the 2025 Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, April 1st through 6th. For even more flight sim, attend the Flight Sim Expo this June in Providence. You can visit flightsimexpo.com for information and tickets.
Get your hands dirty and learn new skills by coming to the Sun and Fun workshops. All the workshops are staffed by experienced instructors who are dedicated to home builder education. Many are builders themselves and eager to share their experience with others. Whether you're interested in wood, metal, fabric, or composite airplanes, or learning about electrical systems, welding, engines, or safety wiring, we have all this and more. These workshops are held daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and are free for the cost of admission. For more information and a complete listing, you can go to flysnf.org.
Every afternoon, Tuesday through Sunday, Sun and Fun is proud to present the Daily Air Show, brought to you by Shell and AOPA. You can join us at the flight line for exciting air show performances with highly skilled pilots flying all types of aircraft. The Daily Air Show lineup includes a variety of aircraft such as ultralight paramotors, gliders, World War II fighter planes, modern aerobatic and race planes, as well as military fighter jets. The displays of masterful flying will delight the crowd every afternoon all week long.
Looking to enjoy the air show up close and personal? Want to be right where the action is? Come to the preferred seating area, which is located on the flight line, right in front of the announcer stand. You'll have access to restrooms, some shaded areas, bag storage, and complimentary water. Seating is provided, so you don't even need to bring your own chair. All-day access to the preferred seating area is just $25 per person in addition to the regular admission, and a separate ticket is required. More information and ticket purchases can be found online at flysnf.org.
For the first time ever at Sun and Fun, we're thrilled to host the Academic Drone Soccer League World Cup on the evenings of Thursday, April 3rd and Friday, April 4th at the Aerospace Pavilion. Drone soccer inspires students to pursue aerospace and science education and career opportunities by providing a hierarchy of competitions and events that highlight student skills in engineering, aviation, teamwork, and leadership. Get ready for an action-packed showdown as teams take to the air in this high-energy competition.
And now, back to the Sun and Fun radio deck, brought to you in part by Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun at 51. This is Pilot Jim G coming to you from the Sun and Fun radio deck on a somewhat overcast but very nice Saturday morning. And once again, as always, here at Sun and Fun Radio at 11 o'clock, we have Women in Aviation International with my friend Kelly Murphy, and she has two wonderful guests lined up, Liz Booker and Dr. Cecilia Aragon. Kelly, let's take over to you.
Oh, good morning, Jim. So great to be here at Women Shine Radio again on Saturday morning. Really pleased to have two of my friends, colleagues, and really esteemed professionals, Dr. Cecilia Aragon, who is an author, and a professor and all kinds of things aerobatic pilots, the first Latina to get on the U.S. Aerobatic Championship, as well as Liz Booker, a dear friend who is the creator of Literary Aviatrix and also is a columnist for the Authors Connect in Aviation for Women magazine. Really pleased to have both of you here. A little side note here, we are kind of doing a preliminary little conversation here on the deck before we all head over to the Trailblazer Luncheon, sponsored by the 99s, which is going to be at Prop 75, just down the row here at 11:30 to 1:30. Tickets are still available, so we need to go online to purchase those.
For those on site, that's just behind hangars B and C.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so we're going to start with Cecilia because you have so many interesting things in your world that you really talk about overcoming some maybe fear of aerobatics. And what I think is really cool is you introduce mathematics into this. So please tell us your journey.
All right, well, thank you, Kelly and Jim. I'm delighted to be here. So, yeah, I was really not the sort of person you would expect to ever become a pilot. Nobody in my family was a pilot, and I was one of those timid, shy kids who kind of hunched in the corner, and I got sick on Ferris wheels. And then one day, a friend of mine offered me a ride in a Piper Archer. And my first thought was, oh no, I don't want to die, because that was not the sort of thing I ever expected I would do. So if anybody listening here knows somebody that you care about who is really terrified and scared and says, I could never be a pilot, you know what? They might be interested in some of the step-by-step tips that I give in my book on how to overcome fear and how flying can change your life in so many ways. It was a long journey. I did use math, but the book is readable for somebody who's a non-pilot and a non-mathematician, and it's about what it takes to overcome these obstacles that so many of us face in our lives, particularly in dealing with fear. So I have to say that it was so exciting for me to reach the World Championships and to stand on the stage as They played the U.S. national anthem, and my parents, who are immigrants, naturalized citizens, were standing in the audience with tears running down their face because their daughter was representing their adopted country, and it was the high point of my life.
Absolutely. So I know we don't have time to go all through those tips, and we need to recognize that buying your book, Flying Free, is available on Amazon. We're also going to be selling it at the Prop 75 luncheon. Can you give us the top 3 tips? How do you overcome that fear?
The top 3 tips. The first one is show up.
Okay.
You know, the world is run by people who show up. Even if you are scared of something, you want to do a little tiny bit toward it. So for me, I needed to practice aerobatics, but aerobatics terrified me. So I told myself every day I will just go out to the hangar and get in the airplane and start it up and take off. That I could do, but I didn't promise myself I would do anything more difficult. And you know what? Just by doing that day by day, by making those small steps toward overcoming my fear, it just became easier and easier. And that's really the biggest one, because there is a mathematical technique, actually, as it turns out, called proof by induction. You don't need to know what it is. But if you just go from step 1 to step 2, it turns out you can go all the way to infinity.
Ooh, I like that. So what's step 2?
Step 2 is when it becomes easy, you do the next thing that's a little bit more challenging. And step 3 is spend some time coming up with creative solutions. Because there are so many times in my life when I said, this is impossible, the odds are stacked against me, there is no way to get there. But I remember how I actually made proofs in mathematics. I was creative. I sat down. I thought about different ways of thinking about it. And that's how, I talk about this in the book, too, how I didn't have any money, and I needed to have an airplane that cost much more than I could afford. But how did I figure out how to get a plane that could do what I needed to do to be competitive at the World Aerobatic Championships? It was impossible. And yet, I did it.
You did it. Awesome. Share with us, what's your next project?
So my next project is another impossible step. My son and I are starting a tech business, and he is my boss. He's the CEO. He's 25, and most startups fail, but we are going to be a billion-dollar company and start an aviation museum.
Excellent. I can't wait to see that. I'm going to turn over to Liz. Liz, you were just in Denver at the WI 2025 conference, brought over 30 female aviation authors. It was just amazing. And I want you to spend some time talking about this creation, Literary Aviatrix.
Oh my gosh, Kelly. Well, thank you for hosting this, and thanks for bringing Cecilia on, as she's a hard act to follow. And what I've grown has really been benefited primarily by women in aviation. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, you know, we've been doing this for a few years now, where I've been volunteering to support you guys with our Authors Connect stuff at the conference. And you've brought us out of the back of the exhibit hall, out in front and center. And you've kind of grown us from sort of a flea market table to an aviation bookstore, which is amazing. It's beautiful, and I appreciate your support and all those authors out there. So Literary Aviatrix came out of the Aviatrix Book Club. I was looking for ways to connect with aviation during COVID. And now I have a website with over 600 books that feature women in aviation, an interview series where I've interviewed some amazing, inspiring women, including Cecilia, and the book club where we talk about books a couple of times a month virtually. So everybody is welcome to join that, and I love it.
Well, I also got to point out that you have books for all level readers,
Absolutely.
and specifically the youngsters, because you showed up at Girls in Aviation Day Denver. So talk a little bit about the breadth of books that you have for all readers.
So yeah, there are like I said, over 600 books on the market that feature women in aviation in all genres for all ages. And when you go on the website, you can sort by reading level. So we have picture books, middle grade, young adult, and adult books, fiction, nonfiction, and then you can go sort for specific stuff like military, historical, feel and that kind of thing. There's something for any reader out there.
I love that. And you will always talk about the power of sharing your story, which I love. So how can one listening out there join Literary Aviatrix?
Well, if you're a reader, you can just go anywhere on social media, and you can find me out there posting about all our amazing books. We have a book club book club group on Facebook, the Aviatrix Book Club, and that's where I post all the details about our virtual meetings if you want to get in on that. And I also include it in my newsletter. So if you're not a social media person, you can go to my website, literaryaviatrix.com, and sign up for the website, and I'll send it to you.
Excellent. And you also always try to encourage more women to share their story.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see the importance of that right now, where lots of our historical stories are sort of being omitted from the narrative, especially in the government. But you can't erase our books.
Absolutely. I got to say, thank you so much. You're a former U.S. Coast Guard helicopter pilot. So
yes, ma'am.
Very cool. And Cecilia, it's so wonderful to have you both here on the deck. And let's make sure we continue the conversation. And again, if you have time, drop by the Prop 75 lunch here at 11:30. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Kelly. I've already bookmarked Cecilia's book in my Amazon book list, so I'm ready to get on that.
Excellent.
We will be taking a break for some sponsor messages. We'll be back to Sun and Fun Radio in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jim.
You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio on WPEP 788 1510 AM and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Craving a classic treat? Come enjoy some delicious fire-roasted sweet corn on the cob for just $3. All to support EAA Chapter 635 from DeLand, Florida. Find us in the West Campground, food court behind Hangar A, or look for our mobile unit around the grounds. We've been roasting corn at Sun and Fun since the 80s, with all proceeds fueling youth STEM education, free young eagle flights for kids 8 to 17, and grassroots aviation programs. Grab some corn, savor the flavor, and help inspire the next generation of aviators, one cob at a time.
Hi everybody! Sun and Fun has invested in providing a better Wi-Fi experience for its guests. We are pleased to offer free Wi-Fi in most of the core areas of our campus. Just sign into the network named SNF Free. That's SNF Free.
Need a pick-me-up? Swing by Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, your official coffee sponsor of Sun and Fun. You can find them in Hangar A at booth A1 or on the flight line across from Coconut Flyers. They're giving back. 10% of all sales in Hangar A and 25% of Flightline Cup sales go to Sun and Fun's nonprofit. And for all of April, 10% of online sales at legendaryroasters.com supports the cause. Sip, enjoy, and make a difference, one legendary cup at a time.
Every day from 10:30 a.m. until noon here at Sun and Fun, we have a great opportunity for manufacturers and individuals to exhibit their aircraft in action in the flyby pattern at Show Center. Each aircraft or group of aircraft has exclusive use of the flyby pattern for 6 minutes while a representative extols its virtues over the PA system. These free showcase flybys are one of our most popular attractions and are a great opportunity to show off your aircraft. Please visit flysnf.org to register and for more information.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba.
Yes, hydration is everything. So what happens in the sun? Our bodies perspire to keep us at 98.6, and that warm breeze across our face evaporates water from our bodies too. And those caffeinated beverages are diuretics, which means that when we drink them, we can become dehydrated. So stay ahead of the curve by drinking water all throughout your stay here at Sun and Fun. For Sun and Fun Radio, this is Dr. David Kolbaba.
Looking for the perfect gift or souvenir? Airport Mugs just landed with premium ceramic mugs featuring all Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airport codes in America. Airport Mugs are printed with your favorite airport code on one side and runway sectional information on the other. Use discount code MUGS20 at checkout for 20% off. Visit airportmugs.com. That's airport-mugs.com today and elevate your hot or cold beverage experience.
Here's some more info on our Sun and Fun hands-on workshops, located near the main south entrance of the expo. Interested in composites, epoxies, or fiberglass? Bill Cabrera from FGCI and Mike Bergen from Custom Tech will guide you through the art of infusion and simple vacuum bagging techniques. Expand your skills and dive into the realm of innovation. Or you can rev up your engines and gear up for some serious maintenance and care insights. The Engine Workshop is where we're talking engine maintenance and care. Don't miss out on expert tips to keep your engines running smoothly.
After an action-packed day at Sun and Fun, unwind with live nightly entertainment at the corn roast stage in the campground. Savor the taste of freshly roasted corn and soak in the lively atmosphere as the sun sets. With great music, good company, and the perfect evening breeze, it's the ultimate way to wrap up your day in aviation paradise. 6 to 8 p.m. every evening. Performing Monday and Tuesday will be Mountain Brew Band, Wednesday and Thursday, Rusty Trumpet Band, and Friday and Saturday, Eli Mosley.
Discover a true architectural gem at Florida Southern College, home to the world's largest single-site collection of Frank Lloyd Wright architecture. As Florida's oldest private college, FSC is nationally recognized for academic excellence, offering over 70 undergraduate majors. Take a guided tour of this historic and vibrant campus, and don't miss the Ashley Gibson Barnett Museum of Art, Central Florida's only Smithsonian-affiliated art museum. Experience history, art, and innovation all in one place. flsouthern.edu.
Attention all aviation enthusiasts. Don't miss out on the Innovation Showcase at the Future in Flight Plaza. Discover cutting-edge technology from leading companies like Aerosys Tech, Aileronics Grindstone, Lift Aircraft, and more. From FlightSim.com to Molnar and beyond, this is your chance to see the future of aviation in action. Join us and explore the latest.
And now, back to the Sun and Fun Radio Deck, brought to you in part by Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun at 51. So we're back. Randy, how you doing?
Sir, I'm well excited about the big show coming up today.
Today is a big day in many different ways. First of all, it is Saturday, so it means they're going to have a great crowd here, a very, very enthusiastic and complete crowd. And so that's going to be good. We have another great daily air show with the Blue Angels and a couple of other jet teams, as well as the traditional acro aerobatic performances are going to happen. And then, of course, today's the other day where we have two air shows. We have an air show this evening as well. If you have never seen the night air show, don't shortchange it, or don't. It is really remarkable. What you think? Okay, airplanes flying in the dark. What's the big deal? No, it's a big deal. And when you combine that with the fireworks and the laser show and the drone show and it's pretty cool.
It's jaw dropping. It's phenomenal. The aerial display at night with the flashing lights and lasers, like Jack said, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. Make sure if it's possible, come and check it out because you'll enjoy it. We're joined this segment by Abby Hutter from jsfirm.com. Hi, Abby. Abby, how are you doing?
Hey, Jack, Randy, doing good.
Yeah.
Saturday at Sun and Fun. It would be almost impossible to have a bad day, right?
That's true. And they told us earlier in the week that the ticket sales for today were just off the charts.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great day. JS Firm, tell us a little bit about what JS Firm is.
Yeah, so jsfirm.com is an aviation job website. The easiest way to explain it is we're like Indeed, but it's all aviation jobs. And when I say all, that's to the tune of 35,000 aviation jobs on our website. Free for job seekers, so pilots, mechanics, marketing specialists, sales, management, executive, anything that would touch aviation can be found on our website. Mm-hmm. Free resource for job seekers, and then companies pay to advertise.
Okay. You mentioned Indeed, and there, of course, are other sort of what I would call generic job sites out there. How does yours kind of compare to those more general interest sites?
Of course. So what we hear from aviation companies, Indeed is great when you need it. We use Indeed, right? jsfirm.com is hiring also. But where we differ is we have 70 industry partners. So Sun and Fun, EAA, AOPA, University or Western Michigan University, right? 70 of those partners. So what companies like about our website is when they post their job on jsfirm.com, it goes out, we distribute it out to 70 industry partners. So we really try to keep their jobs in front of the most relevant people. Where you post it on Indeed, they'll share it all over the world, but you may not get the most relevant, to aviation people applying to your jobs.
Mm-hmm. And then the way people are expressing themselves in their listings on your site, is that different than the way they would express themselves? Do you provide, are there other fields in your questionnaire that people fill? Is there other information there?
No, it's real simple for job seekers. They upload their resume. If they want, they don't have to. They can apply as a guest. But if you do create an account on our website as a job seeker, you're able to store all your application information, store your resume. So when you are applying to jobs, it's just a quick apply. So it's pretty user friendly.
Yeah. Jack, when we were starting out, we waited on the Sunday paper.
Oh.
You know, you wait on the Sunday paper and circle and call and weed through, but you make it seamless to log on and find that specific job you're looking for.
So it's interesting you mentioned the paper. JSFirm.com has been around for 26 years.
Okay, yeah, tell us about
26 years, and our owners call it an overnight success, right? Whatever that saying is, where it took 26 years. But 2 pilots, 2 mechanics. They both graduated from PIA, Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics, with their A&P certificate, and then they went out into the industry. They were mechanics for different companies, and they found each other again, and they needed to hire a mechanic and could not find, right? You're looking in the paper. They're like, how do we... And the internet was just really starting to come around. Google was coming around. I always joke that JS Firm's older than Google. And it literally started with 1 resume, 1 company, and now has grown to a database of over 300,000 aviation resumes and 35,000 jobs on the website.
And you can go in and tune your search specifically for the job you're seeking.
Yeah. Yep. You can put in, if there's a certain, type rating that you're looking for, that the job, depending on what you're flying, or a certain maintenance job. You can also, if I live in Florida, but I know I want to relocate to Oregon for some reason, you can set up job alerts that you want to know every time there's a new job that matches what you do in Oregon, and you'll get an email from JS Firm and say, hey, Life Flight Network is hiring helicopter pilots in Oregon. And it comes right to your inbox once a day.
Yeah. You brought one of your staffers along with you, Chloe, whose last name I'm going to Spallone. Did I get that right? Close?
Yep.
Okay, good. Welcome, Chloe.
Hi.
So I'm sure there's lots of interesting things you could tell us. One thing I'm interested, though, is you apparently, so you guys are exhibiting here at Sun and Fun, but a week or so ago you were exhibiting at the Women in Aviation Conference. How does that, what was that like? What was that conference like, maybe compared to this one?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm brand new to the aviation industry. I just started at JS Firm right at 2 months yesterday.
Yeah.
So Women in Aviation was super cool. I love how friendly everyone is. The aviation industry is so big, and there's so much to learn.
Did you talk to a lot of people there?
I talked to a bunch of people, as many people as I could.
Yeah. Abby, I'm kind of curious, depending on who you talk to, you hear different stories about whether there are jobs available or not. What's your experience about maybe categories or whatever in terms of job availability?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question that we're asked a lot. I've been with JSFirm.com. It'll be 11 years this October, so I've sort of rode the wave of the industry, right? And I think we all know the legacy carriers really sort of control that momentum. When they're hiring, it's a fever, right? Everybody's looking and coming to interview with those people. And then when they slow down, that sort of trickles downstream, right? A lot of the companies that we work with, the regional airlines, utilize JSFirm.com very heavily with their advertising efforts. And a lot of the stuff that I'm here, they're still actively advertising, but they turned it down just a little bit, right? And then when those budgets open back up again, hopefully soon, they turn that back up on JSFirm.com. And a lot of people think it's just pilots. Mechanics is a huge need right now. When we're talking to companies, there's one over I'm going to mess up their name. They're right outside the hangar, but he literally told Nationwide Aviation. They're a flight school in Texas. He's like, Abby, if you meet a mechanic that wants to come to Texas, I'll hire him or her on the spot. Like, bring them over to me. Like, they're hurting for people so bad, and you always hear about the pilots, right? And it's also the mechanics, the avionics, the line service technicians that are also just as in demand.
Interesting, yeah. You guys are very involved with Sun and Fun.
We are.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we began our partnership with Sun and Fun back in 2014 through the career fair. So we help support that event for them. We help get the job seekers we help get the the companies. We help them support that. And then once the companies are set and we know what they're hiring for, we send out tens of thousands of emails to people letting them know that there's a career fair happening here. And the career fair grew from a one-day event to now it's a week-long event at Sun and Fun. Air-conditioned tent, everybody. Air-conditioned. And it's not far behind the radio booth. There are 18 companies over there, everybody from Piper, SkyWest, Frontier Airlines is over there. They're all over there talking to people, and it's been busy. Now, in the afternoon, when stuff starts flying, tends to slow down a little bit. That would actually be my recommendation to come over when you can get your FaceTime with those companies. But it's shoulder to shoulder inside the tent. People are coming in and talking to the companies.
Well, that's a good deal. So you're exhibiting here at Sun and Fun.
Yes.
Where are you located? Where can people find you?
We're in the career fair. Where else would jsfirm.com be?
Now, there has been some question about so can you describe where that is on the
I can.
grounds?
So it's in the innovation area. So right when you come in the front gate, there's a big grassy area. The career fair used to be the first tent. Now it's sort of back in the trees in the shade, which again is not a bad thing. But find the Innovation Center, and if you just keep walking towards the flight line, you will run into a huge white tent that has Career Fair written all over it.
Right. And online, you are jsfirm.com. It's that simple.
That's correct, jsfirm.com.
That's great. Well, thank you to Abby Hunter and Chloe Spallone
Absolutely.
for joining us from jsfirm.com. Interesting stuff. Good resource if you're in need of such a thing.
Yeah.
All right, Randy. Well, we're going to take a little break here, but things continue to pick up. Jim this morning was commenting that one of the barometers here is the crowd of people coming in the road next to us here, and it's definitely picking up. The crowd is building in anticipation of a big afternoon at the air show. So we'll be back in a few minutes with more people on Sun and Fun Radio.
Hello, this is Lizzie Havens. You're listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SMF.
It's Dr. David Goldbaba.
You know, the best protection against the harmful rays of the sun is light clothing. That's right. Thin cotton clothing is about the best way to avoid excessive sun exposure. And this protection comes with absolutely no risks of doing harm, especially important for those of us traveling from the northern states. A wide-brimmed hat is another healthy option to reduce excessive sun exposure. For Sun and Fun Radio, this is Dr. David Goldbaba.
Calling all pilots and aircraft enthusiasts. Don't miss out on the Flyby Showcase, a complimentary activity at Sun and Fun. Show off your aircraft in flight at the show center while a description of your pride and joy is shared with the crowd. Join us daily at 9 a.m. for a briefing about the flyby pattern and staging times. Each aircraft or group has exclusive use of the pattern for up to 6 minutes. It's a fantastic opportunity to exhibit your aircraft in action to the many guests at the event. See you at the Flyby Showcase, featured daily from 10:30 a.m. until 12 p.m.
Attention aviators, since 1984, Gulf Coast Avionics has been your go-to source for avionics, instruments, and pilot supplies worldwide. Proudly sponsoring Hangar D, they offer top-notch installation and repair services for both certified and experimental aircraft. Come celebrate over 40 years of unbeatable pricing and service. You can visit Gulf Coast Avionics in Hangar D, booth 30 through 33, or check them out online at gca.aero. Fly smarter, upgrade with the best, and see why pilots trust GCA.
Calling all home-built aircraft enthusiasts. Planning to fly your masterpiece to Sun and Fun this year? Don't miss our Perseverance Award for newly completed or almost complete home builds. Join us in the home built area located just west of 523 and south of the VOR, offering prime views of showcase flybys and daily air shows. Explore different aircraft types, chat with builders, and gather tips in our home built aircraft area. Plus, don't forget to inquire about aircraft judging. Registration ends Friday at noon. Swing by the island for refreshments, entertainment, and support services. See you there!
If you would like a truly first-class, adult-oriented experience at Sun and Fun, consider the 927 Club. Located at Airshow Center on the Warburg Ramp, the air-conditioned 927 Club Chalet features an all-new menu by renowned chef Marcos Fernandez. The 927 Club features amenities such as full breakfast and hot lunch, Wednesday and Saturday evening happy hours and dinners before the night air shows, complimentary soft drinks and snacks, complimentary beer and wine from 3 to 6 p.m. daily, and exclusive airshow seating on the patio facing Airshow Center. The full menu and more information is available at flysnf.org.
Imagine ordering medicine for a sick child and having it delivered to your home in just 30 minutes. That's the future of delivery with Wing Aviation, already serving Dallas and expanding soon. With over 450,000 successful deliveries worldwide, Wing is revolutionizing convenience for busy parents, shift workers, and those with mobility challenges. See their cutting-edge aircraft and technology in action all week at Sun and Fun. You can learn more and find out when they're coming to your area at wing.com/Florida.
Hey kids, are you interested in learning about science or parachutes? If you're between grades K through 6, you can attend a Piedmont Aerospace Labs workshop. These exciting labs run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily in the Kids Zone, located at the front entrance. The Kids Zone is also packed with many more cool aviation-themed activities, including a rock wall, obstacle course, space shuttle slide, combat trainer, and much more. Remember, the Kids Zone is located near the front entrance. For more information about ride ticket requirements and prices, visit flysnf.org.
Here's some more info on our Sun and Fun hands-on workshops located near the main entrance of the expo. Are you interested in learning about composite materials, layups, hot wiring, and mold making? Want to learn all about fastener types, swagging and safety wiring, or riveting and drilling techniques? What about the polyfiber aircraft covering system? Maybe even try some or all of these yourself? Come take advantage of our no-cost Sun and Fun hands-on workshops located at the corner of Tom Mack Road and Crossfield Way.
If you or someone you're with requires urgent medical assistance, please call 911 immediately. If practical or less urgent, you can visit Sun and Fun's Medical Hospitality Building and Tent located on the corner of James C. Ray Drive and Tom Mack Drive, right across from the big Piedmont jet near the main entrance. Medical Hospitality is staffed from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. by licensed volunteer doctors and nurses. From sunburns, blisters, and dehydration to insect bites, headaches, and stomach pain, they are ready to help. And water and sunscreen are always available, free of charge.
Enjoying all the aircraft is one of the leading reasons people come to Sun and Fun, and we are pleased to open Flightline access to all of our guests. However, please help protect people and aircraft by following a few simple rules. Warning, aircraft in motion have spinning propellers that are very dangerous.
And now back to the Sun and Fun radio deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo here in Lakeland, Florida, at the Lakeland Lindner International Airport. It's time to turn up the fun at 31. I'd say you have 31. 31. This is Sun and Fun Radio's 31st.
I got you.
Sun and Fun got their they got a typo in everything they publish. Turn up the fun at 51. Should be turn up the fun at 31.
31. We got to tell those folks at Sun and Fun what's what.
We got to talk to somebody about this.
So we have a radio show that happens to have an air show going on during.
Exactly. Everybody's so excited about Sun and Fun Radio, they built an air show around it.
Nice.
No, it just happens to be coincidence. Sun and Fun came on the air. Sun and Fun Radio came on the air the 20th year of Sun and Fun, so we share their anniversary.
I'm looking out at the sky, and I just checked the my local weather app, and those clouds are at about 2,400 feet, and that's a normal Florida afternoon, right? You've got that humidity buildup. You got some cumulus clouds. It's partly sunny, partly cloudy. So we're talking, if the air show may do some low-level stuff. They may not go real high. I don't know. That's my guess, seeing those puffies at 2,400.
Well, so far all week, God has been smiling on us and giving us absolutely beautiful weather for our event. And of course, the Blues and the other jet teams, they're all running IFR, so I don't know that they'll be affected by a 24-foot ceiling.
Oh,
but
they're only flying 500 feet off the ground anyway, so not a problem.
I think they get a little higher than that. When they exit the airspace.
Yeah, well, as they exit.
I know they do because they blast past the house. I got a text message from April the other day. 2 jets just blasted over the house and scared the dog. I said, good, the Raptor needs to be afraid of something.
Looking at the forecast on ForeFlight here, it's saying late this afternoon it's scattered at 4,000, scattered at 25,000. So it may clear up a bit for us.
It may clear up. Yep.
I think we'll have beautiful weather. Amanda was here this morning and said we're going to have beautiful weather.
She's the authority.
And she is the authority. We have Amanda Holly with Channel 8 out of Tampa Bay, the morning meteorologist. She grins now every time I say that because I finally got her title right.
You finally got it right. As I've been driving around Lakeland this week, I see people sitting in lawn chairs on just about any flat surface out here in Lakeland. There's parking lots, shopping centers, people's front lawns. Everywhere you go, people are sitting out in the yard watching the air show.
And you got to love that, and I'm really hoping that if you are local and you're listening to our broadcast or watching us here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, that we do broadcast a fixed cam shot of the air show every day, and we will do the same. Our sky cam will be pointed out at the runway for tonight's night show, and but it's not the same, folks. You can watch it there. You can say, oh, that's cool. It is not as quality product as Derek and crew put out. It is not the same as being here in person.
No,
you
they
feel it, you taste it, you smell it.
They see the flying on outside of the fence. That's, what would you say, 60%, 20% of the air show? We're in the heart of the air show with all of the vendors and all of the activities and forums.
Exactly.
So there's so much more than just that flying, and if you're outside the fence, you don't get any of that.
Well, one of my favorite story that I heard, a father and son were sitting outside the fence, didn't want to pay to come in. They're watching the air show, and back then it was the Aeroshell team, and the announcer is saying, they will be signing. You want to meet the pilots? Come on by the Aeroshell booth tomorrow from like 1 to 3 or whatever it was. They will be here signing autographs. And the kid pestered his father about meeting them, and so the people bought a ticket and came in the next day. And that's my hope. I mean, I really hope that we're helping people who can't be here for some reason, like Tony from Mobile, like my friend David Philibom, who can't be here at Sun and Fun, and they're able to still kind of feel like they're here by listening to us. But if you are out there listening to us, folks, send us an email, snfradio@gmail.com, snfradio@gmail.com, because it will come to me, and you might just get a shout-out, like Tony from Mobile. And Tony's last name, Tony sent me an email and said I've been pronouncing his name wrong all week. Tony's last name is Perkle. The R doesn't come first. So I've been calling him the wrong name. I take that back. I haven't been calling him the wrong name. I've been just mispronouncing the right name. Tony, I apologize, brother. You're a long-time UCAP listener, long-time Sun and Fun radio listener. You flying home, Robert Sigliano? It looks like he's taking off. Another radio volunteer taking the human mailing tube going home. Mr. Robert Sigliano hadn't been with us for a number of years. We're so glad you've been back with us, Robert. Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you here, and I'm glad you are still here with us. Look forward to seeing you again next year. He's one of our behind-the-scenes people. He is an editor, works with Roy Brewer on the editing team. A lot of all of our live stuff gets clipped out by the editors and posted and run the loop.
And here's
every
a
field
good
interview.
Here's a good
gets
shout
edited.
out to the editors. This beautiful weather, this beautiful flying, everything we've been talking about. Where are they at? Where are they right now, Dave? They're in a windowless cubicle, editing audio
with an exterior lock. That's my running joke. As I go over there every once in a while, I'll stick my head in and ask a question, and I'll close the door and I'll throw the lever. Yeah, there's a handle inside. They can,
okay.
But there is a padlock spot on there. When we first had the pod, air show had ended, flying was over. It was the next day after, Monday, and Terry Fowler and I were here, and we were talking about the pod. And I said, "Well, I'm going to go ahead," and it was hot, so I went in there and I closed the door from the inside, and I went to move, and one of the lever handles spun, and I was legitimately locked in the pod. Could not get out. I called Terry. I said, "Tell me you're not very far away." "No, I'm only a mile or two off campus." "Why? What's going on?" "I need you to come back." "What's the matter?" "I'm locked in the pod. The handle is broken on the inside." And he came back and let me out. But it could have been ugly because it was after the air show. Nobody was here.
That could have been a bad ending.
But the pod used to be a equipment building out here on the field. When we first had it, you could still barely see through the paint job, the orange and white checkerboard that it was painted. And if you ever notice that you look inside the pod, you'll notice all kinds of screw holes in the wall. That was actually an equipment pod that was out there by the VOR. They got new buildings and donated them to here at Sun and Fun, and we got one of them because we didn't have enough room. So, wondering what we're going to do with the pod once we begin the renovations on campus. You guys seen the 5-year plan?
Yep. It's the architect's 3D model is shown from a couple different viewpoints. Obviously, that's all going to be subject to change, but it's a conceptual plan at this point as to how the campus may lay out once the Lakeland Linder International Airport, say that 3 times fast, constructs a new.
KLAL, KLAL, KLAL.
There you go. Construct a second east-west parallel runway, roughly where the current taxiway is.
Yeah, and once they do that, there's a minimum separation between the runway and what they call the fence. And so when they put that over, literally the new fence line is going to be about where that tarmac is, where that drive is out on the other side of us there. So originally I thought we were going to be right on the front. They put the new thing in. And then I saw the artist conception, and Gene pointed out that this is Clubhouse Row. And so I was like, Gene, is that like where they are now existing? He said, no, they're going to move from there. But so that means that 3 to 5 years, we're going to have a new home. So
I've heard
exciting.
discussions between you and Derek and trying to solve the logistics of that and making that happen as seamlessly as possible.
Well, right now, the current thought is that, I've got my cargo trailer here. It's my personal trailer. Derek thinks that we should repurpose that into a mobile transmitting room, mobile control room. And that's not a bad idea, we got to keep an eye on it. So we're not sure what we're going to do. Hopefully when the time comes they move us, we will be given plenty of time. Basically what's going to happen is at the end of the year at Sun and Fun, we break down the deck stuff and put it away. That year, whatever year that is, we're going to have to break down the entire studio and pack it away. And when we come back the next year, we'll be in a whole new spot. But when that happens and everything else, that's, we'll do what they need to do as long as we're here. As long as we're welcome, as long as we can broadcast, we will broadcast to you from the Aerospace Expo.
And we'll be back after a few short messages. This is Pilot Jim G with Chairman Dave, Randy Bibb. Thanks for listening to Sun and Fun Radio.
You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Are you looking for a part or an instrument to help you complete your latest project? If so, you could come down to the Parts Exchange and see if they have something that fits your need. Not building anything? That's okay. You can come out and add to your memorabilia collection or find that next office, studio, or living room aviation piece. The Parts Exchange is your place for aviation parts and pieces for whatever it is you desire to use them for. The Parts Exchange is located in Hangar E.
Sun and Fun's volunteer jet team hospitality ensures the comfort and enjoyment of our visiting jet team friends and family by offering hospitality services such as shuttle transportation, snacks and beverages, local information, and more to our guest jet teams. Additionally, they coordinate a meet and greet between the jet team and local youth groups, allowing them to experience Sun and Fun firsthand and create lasting memories. Thank you, Jet Team Hospitality, for making the Blue Angels feel welcome this year.
Looking for the perfect gift or souvenir? Airport Mugs just landed with premium ceramic mugs featuring all Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airport codes in America. Airport mugs are printed with your favorite airport code on one side and runway sectional information on the other. Use discount code MUGS20 at checkout for 20% off. Visit airportmugs.com. That's airport-mugs.com today and elevate your hot or cold beverage experience.
Here's some more info on our Sun and Fun hands-on workshops, located near the main entrance of the expo. Your requests have been heard loud and clear. Lincoln Electric is back to share their wealth of knowledge on TIG welding techniques. Make sure to stop by their workshop off Tom Mack Road to learn and engage with their skilled representatives. Get ready to spark your creativity. Join us for an unforgettable experience filled with learning and exploration. The Sun and Fun hands-on workshops. See you there.
Sun and Fun hosts a Type Club tent during the fly-in. Approximately 20 Type Clubs participate, and their members are eager to share information and answer questions about their type of aircraft and how you can become a member in any of the Type Clubs. Whether you're interested in Cubs, short-wing Pipers, Cessnas, Blancas, or any of the other aircraft represented by their club, you won't want to miss the Type Club tent, located just across the taxiway from the Vintage Hospitality headquarters.
Aviation meets art, and every aircraft is a masterpiece at D-Moore Group, offering Waco biplanes inspired by the golden age of aviation and German-engineered Junkers light sport aircraft. D-Moore's handcrafted aircraft blend timeless elegance with modern performance. 4 models are on display at Sun and Fun. Visit booth ND8A or WacoAircraft.com to see masterpieces designed for true aviators.
Moms of preschoolers, it's time to blast off into reading. Story time at the Florida Air Museum is here every Tuesday morning at 10. It's an amazing interactive learning experience for kids 2 to 5.
Hi, I'm Miss Jenny Lynn. Come read, sing, and learn with me.
Come to explore the universe with rockets, planes, and space. It's free. Story time, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. at Lakeland's Florida Air Museum.
It's Dr. David Goldbaba.
You know, Sun and Fun is synonymous with being outside and walking considerable distances, and the combination of sun exposure, heat, and movement can cause physical challenges to our body. Water, shade, and rest can prevent overheating that can lead to what is known as heat stroke, aka sunstroke. Early warning signs include flushing of the face, nauseousness, rapid breathing, and headache. So pay attention to get your water, shade, and rest. For Sun and Fun Radio, this is Dr. David Goldbaba.
Enjoying all the aircraft is one of the leading reasons people come to Sun and Fun, and we are pleased to open Flightline access to all of our guests. However, please help protect people and aircraft by following a few simple rules. Warning: aircraft in motion have spinning propellers that are very dangerous and hard to see. Please avoid all moving aircraft. Do not touch aircraft without the owner's permission. Always be aware of belt buckles, cameras, and other hard objects that could scratch or dent the airplane. For the complete set of rules, please go to flysnf.org. Have a great time this year.
Hello, aviation enthusiasts. Experience the excitement of show planes at Sun and Fun. Witness a stunning array of aircraft in our show plane parking areas, including home-built, vintage, warbird, light planes, seaplanes, and rotorcraft. Explore the home-built aircraft area for a chance to chat with owners and discover building tips. Vintage aircraft parking showcases planes from different eras, while the warbird ramp offers an up-close view of historic military aircraft. Don't miss the seabird area, where unique seaplanes gather, and Paradise City, the hub for light planes. And for rotorcraft enthusiasts, head to the rotorcraft area. Join us at Sun and Fun and immerse yourself in the world of aviation.
And now back to the Sun and Fun radio deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport. Take it away, guys.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo here in Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun. It's 51. I changed it that time. Did you hear that?
I did hear you change it, and you didn't say 31, which is good.
I don't think I've said 31 yet, but
no,
Lord knows
Dave said 31. He said because the station is 31 years old that we should be putting it in a 31.
Yeah, I'm sure I've inserted any number of vocal typos in this thing over the week, but I was inspired to ad-lib there a little bit. I don't know. Beautiful Saturday morning here at Sun and Fun 2025. The clouds are coming in, but that's kind of good because it's moderating or mitigating the sun a little bit. It does help. And the breeze has picked up, so although you still want to be careful about sun, it is an increasingly pleasant day out there. And
the clouds have lifted. It's 2,400 about an hour ago, now at 3,800, so we're looking good.
Yeah. So we're joined this segment by Colonel Panzera. Colonel Panzera is the Florida Wing Commander for the Civil Air Patrol, CAP. Welcome, Colonel.
Oh, thank you, Jack. It's great to be here with both of you today. Thanks. It's an honor to be on the deck. I was here last year. I got to say hello and that kind of thing. And 2 years ago, I actually did the interview with you guys. But please call me Dave. I'm so
Dave,
glad to be
you got
here.
it.
So I appreciate it.
I've got to ask, before you get into something serious, what's with the whistle?
He has a whistle on a lanyard around his neck.
What I did this year, unlike other years, is I want to be seen as a commander that's going to be out there doing the same work as the people. So, I've actually stood out there and done the marshaling with the cadets. I've done the public safety blocking so that they wouldn't walk across operating aircraft taxi lines and that kind of thing. So I'm just wearing my whistle because, when we see traffic, we got to blow the whistle once to stop everyone, then blow it twice for safe to walk.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for filling me in. I didn't know.
I think that most everybody who has hung out at a general aviation airport is familiar, has crossed paths with the Civil Air Patrol folks, but maybe everyone doesn't know about some of the activities and programs that you guys are involved with. Tell us about that.
Wow, it's vast. Here in Florida especially, we probably do more than most every other state. I mean, Texas and California are obviously two other very big states, but, we are doing an enormous amount of things. We have almost 4,000 people in this state that are part of the Civil Air Patrol. We have 25 airplanes. means. We run 2 separate encampments. These are 10-day encampments that are run by the cadets, overseen by our adult members, and then attended by in-flight cadets that have to pass to be able to progress in their career. At the same time, we also have the events like Florida Leadership Academy for the cadets. We have cadet where they go ahead and test out each other in drill, and they also compete in drill competitions. And we have 2 other things that happen now. Airfest didn't happen this year, which of course happens over at MacDill, and that's going to be on a 3-year hiatus with their runway improvements and other things. But here at Sun and Fun, we're here for 10 days as well. There's very few states, like I said, probably only the 3 of us that actually do this many events. And there's more. I could spend an hour telling you all the different things.
How many cadets are here at Sun and Fun this year?
This particular year, we started out with 51 total people, and that included about 8 senior members, or 8 adult members, I should say. And those members are here, of course, for the legal oversight and protection of our cadets. But the cadets here are here in number, and they're the ones out there doing the work.
Yeah. And they have their own leaders within I should say youth leaders or young leaders within that group, so they learn leadership skills as well as the safety skills. Is that right? It
is fabulous, because right now this year we have Cadet Messiah. She's an amazing young woman. This cadet is 18. Now here's the interesting thing. A lot of people think, well, I got to be out of that program at age 18. No, in Civil Air Patrol you can actually continue all the way to midnight before your 21st birthday. So you can actually continue if you're trying to make cadet colonel. We can explain some of those things by going to the website, gocivilairpatrol.com. However, she is here. She is in charge of those cadets. Only rarely would we interject ourselves, because we want them to be in charge. We want them to work the event. We want them to think outside the box, come up with the solutions, and enact and prosecute this mission of safety here at Sun and Fun.
Yeah. In addition to the educational and kind of leadership learning skills programs, CAP is also very involved in some other public-facing, public safety things.
Yes, correct. I mean, we're called in after storms, and we're called in to do high water mark measuring. We'll have teams that go out, and if they see anything and have to report it, they do. They were well used in the past 2 storms that hit the state over this past year. And, you know, we stand ready at any time to be able to both fly our airplanes, deploy our people on the ground, and give a command center. We're now using Starlink so that wherever we are, all we need is a generator, and we can get internet. We can do reporting. We can do all the kinds of needs-based assessments that our political leadership, both in the state and federal level, will be using.
Yeah, once upon a time, CAP was involved in search, maybe not rescue part, but search. Is that still a part of your mission?
Search and rescue is one of the 3 core missions. It's cadet program, search and rescue, and then aviation education, or aerospace education. That are the 3 core missions of the Civil Air Patrol. Oh yes, search and rescue. And now, what is it doing? You as well as I know, it's going to drones. And we're going to be on the forefront of teaching our cadets and our adult members about drone technology, to the point where soon enough, instead of search parties on the ground going, you'll have a drone with a forward-looking infrared looking for someone at night doing search patterns. And then we did a demonstration one time up in New York at the New York wing. This was amazing. I had a friend come and bring out his drone with a forward-looking infrared. He went and found the 4 cadets missing in the woods. Then he used a larger drone to bring them out bottles of water, thermal blankets, and a note that said, "We're on our way."
Nice. Oh, that's an awesome story.
So that's the nice. Great stuff. And what technology? You know, we have military units that are willing to teach us too. And we are converting to make sure that we all have blue-listed drones, so that we can, if asked, work with the military on them, because you can't fly like a DJI drone over a military installation since it's Chinese made.
Yeah. So, well, Colonel Panzer is obviously very passionate about the CAP programs, justifiably. But now I want to talk to Dave for just a second here.
Sure.
And I wish we had more time. We don't have an awful lot of time, but you were 32 years in the Air Force, and you apparently flew ski-equipped 130s.
That's correct.
What was that like?
Oh, that was crazy fun. Oh, crazy fun. Imagine having a bush plane and being in a guard unit that had your own continent. Because we had the continent of Antarctica. It was unbelievable to be able to go down there.
I'm just thinking bush plane with 4 engines. Yeah. This is a pretty cool
It
picture.
really is. Some of the things we got to do was amazing. I've landed on ice over 3 miles thick. I've done 13 rocket-assisted takeoffs. I've done all kinds of things in that airplane that almost any other C-130 operator would be very envious of, landing in the craziest locations. I spent the night one time in a forced landing location that we had spent the night at 89 below wind chill factor. And I mean, you see some of the crazy craziest stuff. And seeing the wildlife on the edges of Antarctica, seeing the active volcano Erebus and flying right over and around it, flying all through the canyons that look like the Grand Canyons, but you can fly down in them because they're doing research there, and they'd set up a skiway. Oh, the things we got to do. And the science that we supported was what we were there for. We worked as the heavy lift component for the National Science Foundation, which ran the international interagency for the scientific community to be able to get them out to both research places on Antarctica and, of course, the South Pole.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Going back to Civil Air Patrol, anything else that that you wanted to tell us about here today?
Yeah, like I said, you need to go to GoCivilAirPatrol.com. GoCivilAirPatrol.com. That whole program is right there, and you need, especially those young men and women that are interested in getting their license. I think it was you I was talking to earlier, Jack, when I said it's amazing that a cadet can come into this program and get their license free of charge if they succeed and get qualified and get picked for cadet
Free
wings.
Flight training. I think that's fantastic.
That's 15 to plus K of
it's a big
financing.
one. It's a big one. And
it's astonishing.
It also it works at the high school level and the college level.
Yep.
And for kids who are studying technical or aviation or scientific fields, to have that pilot background at no additional cost is a big plus to their education.
You know, I might have had 32 years in the Air Force, and it was glorious, I'll tell you right now, but I wish I knew about this program. That would have been the greatest thing.
That's great. Do you have a particular location here at Sun and Fun where people can come find you?
Well, we have a recruiting booth that's right in front of the Aeros, what is it, the club over here, the Aero Club over here.
Lakeland Aero Club,
and,
they hang over
Lakeland
there.
Aero Club, we're right out in front.
Great.
We have 2 of our airplanes and a desk and a bunch of cadets and other people willing to tell their story.
Great. And you said the website, but say it again one more time.
GoCivilAirPatrol.com. Thanks for the interview, gentlemen.
That's very
Thanks
great.
for coming up and
Colonel
spending
Dave
time with
Panzera
us.
from Civil Air Patrol. Thanks a lot. All right, Jim. We'll be back in a few minutes with yet another fascinating interview, but we continue to build up to a fascinating big day here at Sun and Fun 2025. Any final thoughts with the last 10 seconds here?
Can't wait to come back in a few minutes after these messages.
Couldn't agree more. We'll be back later on Sun and Fun Radio.
Hello, this is Piper Rose Lusky from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You're listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Since the very first Sun and Fun, volunteers have been the heart of the fly-in. Our success depends on dedicated volunteers, and that could be you. Your life experience will help us engage, educate, and accelerate the next generation of aerospace professionals. We have all kinds of opportunities to volunteer, from fly-in support to educational events and field trips at many year-round community events. Volunteers earn valuable benefits, but you'll gain new friendships and experience new adventures. Find out more and get started. Just visit volunteer.flysnf.org for more info about volunteer opportunities at the Aerospace Center for Excellence and the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo.
Craving a classic treat? Come enjoy some delicious fire-roasted sweet corn on the cob for just $3. All to support EAA Chapter 635 from DeLand, Florida. Find us in the West Campground, food court behind Hangar A, or look for our mobile unit around the grounds. We've been roasting corn at Sun and Fun since the 80s, with all proceeds fueling youth STEM education, free young Eagle flights for kids 8 to 17, and grassroots aviation programs. Grab some corn, savor the flavor, and help inspire the next generation of aviators, one cob at a time.
Win a formation flight, meet aviation celebrities, and demo Bose aviation headsets at Sun and Fun booth number 007. Experience the difference in audio clarity and clear communication with Bose. When you purchase an A30 or Pro Flight Series 2 headset, you'll receive free Quiet Comfort earbuds. Plus, get 10% off each additional headset purchased at the show. Bose. Quiet the noise, amplify the experience.
Welcome to Sun and Fun. We want everybody to have a great time this year, but there are a few simple rules to be followed. Please be careful around all moving airplanes. Spinning propellers are very dangerous and hard to see. Please make sure your lawn chairs are attended at all times so they do not blow into aircraft or injure people. Please closely supervise your children at all times. No smoking or food is permitted on the flight line. Pets are only allowed in the campground and must be leashed. For the complete set of rules, please go to flysnf.org. Have a great time.
A daily showcase of select warbirds, historic military aircraft, and the stories of those who flew them in harm's way. Victory's Arsenal Theater will present an aircraft each morning in front of the grandstands on the Sun and Fun Warbird ramp. At 10:30 a.m. and then again at 11:30 a.m., the pilot or owner of the aircraft will share their unique personal insight and history of that warbird service. Please take a look at the mobile app for a detailed schedule.
Florida families, are you overpaying for insurance? James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue is here to help. This veteran-owned small business can help you save big on auto, home, boat insurance, and more. They just helped the Lakeland families save $1,000 a year. And with exclusive discounts for veterans, military, and government employees, their rates are so great you'll shout, "Holy moly, Boley!" Call or visit James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue today, or visit boleyinsurance.com.
Start your day with Sun and Fun Today Live. Join in every morning at 9 a.m. for the latest highlights, breaking news, and exclusive interviews, straight from the heart of the action. Brought to you by Sun and Fun Media Productions, your front row seat to everything happening on the ground and in the sky. Don't miss a moment. Tune in live every day at 9 a.m. Calling all STOL pilots and backcountry aviation fans, the Bushwheel Base Camp is back. It's the home base for the 2025 STOL Invitational Pilots and the perfect spot to connect, learn, and celebrate STOL flying. Enjoy daily and nightly activities like backcountry flying forums, safety talks, and STOL competition tips. Then kick back with jambalaya night, complimentary morning coffee, meet and greets, acoustic jam sessions, and craft beers. Come for the knowledge, stay for the camaraderie. Only at Bushwheel Base Camp.
Get ready for high-flying action at the 2025 Academic Drone Soccer Student League World Cup. Experience the thrill as top school and college teams from around the world go head-to-head in this fast-paced, full-contact competition. It's an electrifying mix of technology, teamwork, and high-stakes strategy. This year's tournament features standout teams from across the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Turkey, all vying for the ultimate title. Join us for all the action in the Aerospace Center for Excellence Pavilion from 3 to 8 p.m. on Thursday.
And now back to the Sun and Fun Radio Deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
A special treat.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo here in beautiful Lakeland, Florida, where we are turning up the fun at 51. Get my headphones on so I can actually hear me.
My apologies, but it is a special treat.
Well, it is a special treat. What special treat? What did I miss?
That Derek is joining us.
Derek is joining us.
The infamous...
well, as long as Bill,
miraculous, amazing.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as Bill is not within visual range, we'll be able to understand Derek. Many years as I've known Derek, I have never heard Derek speak with a really strong, pronounced Boston accent.
Oh, really? Okay.
I pick him and his father up. His father comes down to volunteer with us for the first time, Bill Agassi. He's actually in the engineering room now or somewhere. And I picked Derek up, and this guy sounds like he just got off the bus from Boston. Told his father, I said, I have never heard your son speak with that much of a Boston accent. Well, what do you think, Dad? Where's the car? Oh, God.
All right, never mind.
Who is this guy?
Derek
Lagasse.
We Boston people have to, stick together here, so don't let him do this to you.
It's all
Don't let
good.
him do this to you.
Well, my favorite is Boston, where even a tea party can get ugly.
Where's the car?
Park the car in Harvard Yard.
You
Well,
guys.
look, it's part of my job to be a good chameleon so that I can just blend in and get along with anybody that I'm around. And fortunately, we're around a lot of great people this year.
Yeah, we are. And we have Dad to thank. Your dad's here. It's great meeting your dad and working with your dad. And
Absolutely.
kicking him in the ass for raising you. Actually patting him on the back. I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
You sure did.
Yes.
I said that way wrong. But we also have a new volunteer this year. We call him the Doctor because we affectionately call our broadcast table here the TARDIS. We have a TARDIS. We got to have the Doctor. And that would be Mr. Richard. Good morning, Richard. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. I am so excited to be here. I've done a lot of volunteering at different organizations over the years. I went out to Sundance Film Festival for 2 weeks out there and started watching YouTube a lot this year. And I got on some channels about flying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to go back and get my pilot's license. And one of the videos I was watching talked about this show down here in Florida, and I just got online and filled out the application and wanted to work down here on the team, and here I am, and I'm going to be back every year.
Angela Mann, Sun and Fun staff volunteer coordinator, saw your pedigree and what you put in. And you listed like three. They asked you to list 3 different jobs you'd like, and you put in, I'd really like to work with Sun and Fun Radio, because at that point I had her pull our help wanted because we were okay. And I didn't want to take from other areas if other areas had a more critical need. But he actually commented, and I call him and talk to him. And another reason we call him Doctor is his last name is legitimately Seuss. He's Richard Seuss, and it's spelled the same way the Dr. Seuss character is.
It is
Actually,
not. It's not. I'm sorry.
It's S-E-U-S-S is Dr. Seuss, and then mine's S-U-E-S-S. And people get it changed around all the time. It's okay.
And so that's why part of the reason we have Dan, he just readily accepted the doctor call sign because he's already called Dr. Seuss all the time.
I've lived with it all my life, actually.
But your background, you were telling me on the phone the first time we talked, you've been in this whole internet thing from before the word go.
I was very, very blessed. I went on an interview way before the internet, and the interview was for 2 different positions of IT, and it was NetWare and Microsoft, and they said, which position would you be interested in? And they said, well, the NetWare position is taken, but we can get you on the Microsoft thing. And I said, I don't know anything about Microsoft. And they said, well, Bill Gates brought this software into the Pentagon, and they want us to try it out. So I was part of the team of the Microsoft trial, basically, with the Department of Army Financial Management Office, and then from there I just went from there to FAA, from the FAA to NASA headquarters, and from the NASA headquarters to the Department of Treasury. Just rode the wave for many years, and I've just been so blessed. And
so you're the person that brought Windows to most of our government agencies, who first installed Windows in our government. That's outstanding. And then you went on from there, though. That wasn't just what you did. What are some of the other things you've done?
I got really interested in doing production. And about 12 years ago, I was working on the audio board at a church close to my hometown near Annapolis, Maryland. And then from there, I went to another church, which was a very large church in Annapolis, and worked as a producer, technical director, camera operator. And during COVID, I found a very, very popular church in Charlotte. And I was looking to move out of Maryland, and I wanted to move closer to my sister, who lives in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and my other sister lives in North Myrtle Beach. And I applied to be on the production team at Aviation Church, and I feel so blessed to be there. And it's been an amazing ride.
So you're still with Aviation Church?
Yes, I am.
Now, is that a volunteer position or a paid position?
It's a volunteer position, and it's a lot of fun. It's just enormous production team.
And what is your role on their production team? And then once you get that, we'll let Derek talk about your role here.
Right now, I'm on the stage crew, but they'll be doing a lot of other things. And the average production team is between 40 and 50 people every Sunday, and it's seen worldwide to 280 countries. So it's quite a big deal.
It is.
So
and here at Sun, Derek, why don't you talk about we brought Richard in knowing that he could fit a lot of the different positions. What have you been having Doctor do since he's been here?
Well, you said it best, Dave. We have him do almost everything. This year we're doing a lot of cross training, and I really applaud Rich. He's kind of taken to the role quite well for somebody, especially that not only first fly-in at Sun and Fun, but first time joining our team at Sun and Fun Radio. And we've had him behind the board doing a lot of audio engineering, helping us all sound good on the air today. And we've had him behind the video controls, doing camera operating and directing. So for a little bit of the behind the scenes of how we do this radio production, typically when we're out here on the deck, the camera operator and the director that's choosing the artistic shots and operating the cameras to get everything is the same person at any given time. So there's a lot of multitasking, a lot of sharing of the load, and a lot of teamwork. And say I'm pleased to report that this year it's gone quite well.
Good. Yeah, tech at the radio station has always been sort of, ahead of the state of the art, if you will, or more technical than a lot of other things. But the last few years, since you've been doing this video stuff and upgraded the boards and the automation software, how's it all going? Is it working?
It's going good. There's always going to be a gremlin, a technical glitch, a difficulty, and, there's always training to do. I mean, we're a volunteer organization. We all come together, a miracle really, once a year to put together this event. We're always going to encounter problems, but things are going remarkably well, and it's all about baby steps. I learned how to do a lot of the skills that it's taking to put this production on in baby steps, being in the right place at the right time, meeting other people in the same way that we do things here. And we've progressed in the same manner on Sun and Fun Radio.
Yeah. The coverage you're doing of the aerial circus down at Paradise City is pretty impressive. Has that worked the way you expected it to?
I'm very proud of that. Yeah, it's been a big, steep learning curve for everybody on that one, because that is a very dynamic, very different production than what we do here on the deck. But I think we finally figured it out.
Quickly tell us, what are the resources that you take advantage of to show that?
The resources.
So you've got
what specifically?
You seem to have 2 cameras down there.
Yes, we actually have 3.
3 cameras down there.
4, maybe. Yeah, 4.
Now, are they all remotely controlled, or is somebody actually operating one of them down there?
They're all remotely controlled, and they're all completely remote controlled, just like a video game from a joystick, and they're just mounted in a fixed location. We have a little bit of AI. So we have AI actually as an AI camera operator that's capable of tracking a human object and moving it across the screen.
Okay, yep.
And,
which is really cool.
And
you were playing with that last night for the first time. That was really neat.
And we have some networking interface so that we can command it from our studio here in Sun and Fun, from the Sun and Fun radio deck, anywhere on the Sun and Fun campus.
Yeah, nice stuff. Congratulations to you and your team.
Yeah, thank you.
And I tell you, I have to say a personal thank you to Derek, because the video and all of the advancements in engineering over the last couple of years have been really spearheaded at Derek. And while you're talking with Derek, I'm using the monitor in front of me here on the deck, which Marcus built the electronics in our thing. But Derek brought us in Trello, and that's something that's a huge boom. So thank you, Derek Lagasse, for joining my team and running us. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Thank you, Skyjack. We appreciate everybody being here. And I'm Dave Schellbetter for Sun and Fun Radio.
You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Every afternoon, Tuesday through Sunday, Sun and Fun is proud to present the Daily Air Show, brought to you by Shell and AOPA. You can join us at the flight line for exciting air show performances with highly skilled pilots flying all types of aircraft. The Daily Air Show lineup includes a variety of aircraft such as ultralight paramotors, gliders, World War II fighter planes, modern aerobatic and race planes, as well as military fighter jets. The displays of masterful flying will delight the crowd every afternoon all week long.
Welcome to Sun and Fun. Need information or directions? The Sun and Fun Welcome and Information Center is here to help. Find us just inside the main entrance, in the campground near Hangar E, or by the compass rose next to Hangar A. Whether you're looking for event details, locations, or just need a friendly guide, we've got you covered. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find it for you. Let us help make your Sun and Fun experience the best one yet.
Sun and Fun wishes to thank our sponsor, Flight Simulation Association. Flight Simulation Association is committed to expanding the impact of flight simulation in real-world aviation. You can visit them at the Bueller Hangar across from the Boeing 727 during the 2025 Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, April 1st through 6th. For even more flight sim, attend the Flight Sim Expo this June in Providence. You can visit flightsimexpo.com for information and tickets.
You can help save lives by donating blood at the Big Red Bus at this year's Sun and Fun Fly-In. You could literally be saving the life of a hospital patient. The annual Sun and Fun Fly-In blood drive is Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Each day is a great opportunity to help others. All blood donors receive a custom Sun and Fun Fly-In t-shirt plus a $20 e-gift card. You can make an appointment to donate blood at oneblood.org/sunandfun and share your power to save lives.
Here's some more info on our Sun and Fun hands-on workshops located near the main entrance of the expo. Never used an English wheel, mallets, or beads to shape metal? If not, the Metal Shaping Workshop is the right stop for you to learn. Have you seen a wooden props carved? If not, come see what it all entails from start to finish. Ever wonder what it's like to gas weld? Come give it a try. The Sun and Fun Workshops, where you can learn all the skills needed to build your very own plane.
Imagine ordering medicine for a sick child and having it delivered to your home in just 30 minutes. That's the future of delivery with Wing Aviation, already serving Dallas and expanding soon. With over 450,000 successful deliveries worldwide, Wing is revolutionizing convenience for busy parents, shift workers, and those with mobility challenges. See their cutting-edge aircraft and technology in action all week at Sun and Fun. You can learn more and find out when they're coming to your area at wing.com/Florida.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba.
Yes, hydration is everything. So what happens in the sun? Our bodies perspire to keep us at 98.6, and that warm breeze across our face evaporates water from our bodies too. And those caffeinated beverages are diuretics, which means that when we drink them, we can become dehydrated. So stay ahead of the curve by drinking water all throughout your stay here at Sun and Fun. For Sun and Fun Radio, this is Dr. David Kolbaba.
Ever wondered how you can serve your community, explore aviation, and develop leadership skills? Civil Air Patrol is the official civilian auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force, open to youth and adults. Whether you're interested in aerospace education, emergency services, or cadet programs, there's a place for you. Stop by our booth next to the Lakeland Aero Club and discover how you can get involved. Visit GoCivilAirPatrol.com to learn more. Civil Air Patrol, citizens serving communities, above and beyond. Craving something sweet? Grab a treat and support the first ever U.S. high school soaring team. Rockstar Donuts is serving up delicious donuts at the Lakeland Aero Club during the 2025 Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. All to help young aviators reach new heights. Every bite fuels their journey, so stop by, grab some donuts, and turn up the fun at 51. Let's make this fundraiser soar.
Get ready to party with a purpose at the Bash, Sun and Fun's signature fundraising event. Join us Thursday, April 3rd, 2025 from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Florida Air Museum. Enjoy a cocktail reception, delectable cuisine, and exciting silent and live auctions. Every dollar raised supports the Aerospace Center for Excellence's year-round STEM education programs, shaping the future of aviation. Don't miss this unforgettable evening. Get your tickets now at flysnf.org/activities.
And now, back to the Sun and Fun Radio Deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun at 51. Actually, we're turning up the fun at 31 because this is Sun and Fun Radio's 31st year. Next year, there's going to be lots to do at 32. Sun and Fun Radio's 32nd anniversary.
He's working hard on these.
And the one after that's going to be It's All About Me in 33.
Ooh, okay, there we go.
We'll show Jack the Door in 34.
Uh-oh. So there isn't an insight. Good. I'm glad to hear it. There we go.
I'm Dave Shellbetter, volunteer chairman of Sun and Fun Radio. I have been doing this since we came on the air in 1995. In the beginning, it was just kind of announcements about what's going on, and we'd broadcast the air show. And
Wasn't there some story about a cassette recorder?
There was. The very first year we were on air, I was given a 30-minute answering machine cassette tape because it automatically looped, and a cassette recorder and a cassette player.
Right. It was and a looped.
Had to make an exact 30-second announcement and plug it in, and I know what it's like being on hold and hearing the same thing every 30 seconds. It's like I'm turning that off. So I started, let's do some interviews. Let's talk to people. Let's do this. And I kept going, Billy, can we do this? Billy, can I do that? Billy, can I do that? Because Billy Henderson was president and CEO of Sun and Fun back then. And I guess tired of my insistent can I, he said one day, Dave, long as you don't cost us our broadcast license, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Brother, you never hand me a blank check.
Because look what you've done now, all right?
Exactly. We've come a long way from a tape recorder, Dave.
Cassette recorder.
A very long way.
And the second year we were on the air, I didn't want to be limited to that, so I actually brought a Walkman style. It was a Radio Shack brand because it was a lot more affordable than the Walkman.
Realistic.
Yeah, it was a realistic, basically.
That was Radio Shack's house brand.
What was the original tape? The the cassette players a Walkman, right?
Walkman was an early
the
one for
cassette
sure,
player,
right? Yeah.
So it was the realistic version of a Walkman that I bought because it was automatic reverse. So I could put a 30-minute tape in there and have an hour, or a 60-minute tape and have 2 hours, and it would play and reverse and play. The only problem was it was battery powered. So at the end of the air show, right as the air show was ending every day, I'd plug fresh batteries into it, and I'd put the tape in it, and I'd be done for the day, and I'd just auto-play and auto-reverse all night and play all night. I'd get up in the morning, and I'd turn on the radio to make sure my batteries didn't die in the middle of the night.
Yeah, because when I was, you kids these days, when I was a boy, we had a self-reversing,
battery-powered, automatic reversing Walkman-style tape cassette player.
Uphill both ways.
And our original, it was uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow. And back then we used to edit. We'd record everything on cassette, and we'd have to edit on cassette. So, and now you guys, you got all computer everything. We got computer audio, video, and you got somebody up here, Derek Lagasse, my co-chairman in charge of engineering. Tell us about who you've got up here.
Well, we were talking about the Paradise City remote broadcast and a lot of the video enhancements we've made over the years. And just like last year, like this year, Rich stepped up to the plate from zero to hero. Last year, the hero of the operation was Will. We brought in all this new gear, and there was not an abundance of knowledge on the volunteer team, specifically in running video production. And Will stepped up to the plate, and so far he's been my right-hand man this year and just getting other people up to speed on the same thing. So I'd like to welcome Will Coral to the deck. How you doing, Will?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
It's a nice sunny day. Mood's up.
So what's your experience in video outside of Sun and Fun?
Before we do that, though,
Yeah.
I want to make a very important distinction that you guys have skipped over. He is a CFAA alumni who first came to us as a student volunteer. How many years ago? 3? 4?
3, something like that.
Yeah, came in as a student volunteer and liked what we did so much that after he graduated, he keeps coming back and volunteering with us.
Somehow Dave didn't drive me off.
That's it. I didn't scare him away.
Then you are a stronger person than the rest of us.
Yeah, well, back to my experience outside of this.
Yeah, video outside of Sun and Fun.
So, kind of like Rich, kind of like the doc, I've been volunteering at my church since I was too young to remember.
Yeah.
And they started me doing video, doing their video live streams over there, and I kind of got the hang of that. And it's gotten to the point now where I am a part-time employee at my church, basically running around. As soon as I graduated and they could start paying me, they were like, we got to start paying him.
Churches these days have remarkable audiovisual setups. It's just astounding. Some of the great gear. And I'm not directly involved, but I read about it in some of the trade magazines and hear about it from some of my people I cross paths with in the corporate events world. It's pretty amazing, and the things that you have there. How does what we're doing, what Derek has built here compare to some of the church stuff that you do?
Well, like here, we have these 4 pan-tilt zoom cameras that are running our live stream. It's pretty much the same thing at every church you walk into. They have 3. We have 3 in each of our worship spaces at my church. And you've got all of those hooked up to a controller. You got a person controlling them, switching the video, so saying, I want to show this camera now. And that's pretty much what we're doing here. That's what I came in, helped Derek set up last year.
Yeah.
And it's been going good.
Derek's not listening. What here do you look at this and say, well, I would have done that. Next year, let's do this instead.
I would have bought a better controller.
Ah, really? So what, the camera controller?
The camera controller.
Well, yeah, I think, was that a donation or was that a...
camera controller is part of the package deal.
No, that was purchased with donation from Green Bay Austin
So
Straubel
it is a new device.
sponsoring.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I feel like it's worth saying it's still a very good controller. And again, from last year, it gets what we needed done last year done. But like you said, we expanded to Paradise City.
Yeah.
Because you're using that one box to control...
Everything.
6 or 7 cameras?
Yeah.
Something like that?
At any given point, at least 6.
Yeah. So obviously you select a switch on the controller that says I want to change this.
I want to
camera
control
now.
this camera,
And,
right?
How often do you get the wrong camera?
It's not about the wrong camera. It's about honestly just about the joystick.
Yeah.
Because when we're out there, when we're doing the remote broadcast for Paradise City, we're tracking the planes coming into land, and that joystick only really has 2 speeds.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like going like trying to get the get the camera centered.
Tracking planes is hard.
I would imagine,
Does
especially.
the AI do that or no?
No.
Does the AI only work for people?
No.
AI only works for
We
people.
attempted that. We thought that maybe the paramotors, because
They have
they have
people.
people very clearly visible, would be something the AI could pick up on. But we're actually yet to test that theory.
The AI is doing amazing stuff, you know.
Even then, the AI doesn't do as good of a job as Will. And I'm not just saying that because he's here.
So Will is gonna include a brand, model, and source and cost of a new controller for next year in his debrief notes.
We're not going to make you. We won't make you pay for it, but you should tell us what we should buy. Seriously, yeah.
But these are the things that we learn every single year by doing
Right.
it.
Exactly
Some of these things you got to get your hands on it, and you got to get the experience of it. Just like you can't. I'm happy to bring this video out to everybody to be able to enjoy what we're doing here, but you can't feel it unless you come here.
Yeah, right.
You can't feel it unless you experience it.
Derek, my apologies. I'm just joking around here. You guys have done a terrific job.
It's all good.
And there's always room for improvement, but what you've done is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and kind of like with the background that Will was stating with all the churches and so on and so forth, there's multiple volunteers that have that same kind of thing. I got into this in a very similar way. I was in the community access television path. I did a lot of work at my high school that involved video work, and the only way to get access to equipment that you could learn was go into the community access station. And what really was attractive to that to me was, it was a volunteer-run, community-sourced organization that was able to take the power of technology and video and audio and take what's going on in the community and get it out to more people.
Yeah.
It works great for us. It works great for churches, and I'm very pleased that we can do that here.
Cool stuff.
Thank you, Derek Lagasse, William Coral, Jack Hodgson. I'm Dave Shellbetter, volunteer chairman of Sun and Fun Radio, and we were speaking with a couple of our volunteers here. When we come back, we're going to be speaking with another volunteer that was with our British Air Cadets, who sadly aren't here this year. They'll be back next year, but he brought somebody with him, and we're going to get a Brit's first-time Sun and Fun experience told to us coming up next after this break.
Hello, this is Larry Overstreet. You're listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba.
Did you know that when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated? That's why good old-fashioned H2O is the way to go. Caffeinated beverages, a choice for many who become thirsty, can actually cause even more dehydration due to the caffeine. The early stages of dehydration cannot be detected, and that's why you got to go with the water every chance you get. For Sun and Fun Radio, this is Dr. David Kolbaba.
After an action-packed day at Sun and Fun, unwind with live nightly entertainment at the corn roast stage in the campground. Savor the taste of freshly roasted corn and soak in the lively atmosphere as the sun sets. With great music, good company, and the perfect evening breeze, it's the ultimate way to wrap up your day in aviation paradise. 6 to 8 p.m. every evening. Performing Monday and Tuesday will be Mountain Brew Band, Wednesday and Thursday, Rusty Trumpet Band, and Friday and Saturday, Eli Mosley.
Attention aviators, since 1984, Gulf Coast Avionics has been your go-to source for avionics, instruments, and pilot supplies worldwide. Proudly sponsoring Hangar D, they offer top-notch installation and repair services for both certified and experimental aircraft. Come celebrate over 40 years of unbeatable pricing and service. You can visit Gulf Coast Avionics in Hangar D, booth 30 through 33, or check them out online at gca.aero. Fly smarter, upgrade with the best, and see why pilots trust GCA.
For the first time ever at Sun and Fun, we're thrilled to host the Academic Drone Soccer League World Cup on the evenings of Thursday, April 3rd and Friday, April 4th at the Aerospace Pavilion. Drone soccer inspires students to pursue aerospace and science education and career opportunities by providing a hierarchy of competitions and events that highlight student skills in engineering, aviation, teamwork, and leadership. Get ready for an action-packed showdown as teams take to the air in this high-energy competition.
Attention vintage aircraft owners. Are you flying your classic beauty to Sun and Fun this year? Ensure your factory-built aircraft qualifies for our vintage parking. Choose from categories like antique, classic, and contemporary, covering planes built up to 1970. Vintage pilots will be near the island, offering refreshments, entertainment, and support services. Visit the Vintage Hospitality Building for event and camping registration, located west of the Vintage parking area. Camp with your aircraft and explore our Flying Early camping package. See you at Sun and Fun.
Florida families, are you overpaying for insurance? James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue is here to help. This veteran-owned small business can help you save big on auto, home, boat insurance, and more. They just helped the Lakeland family save $1,000 a year. And with exclusive discounts for veterans, military, and government employees, their rates are so great you'll shout, "Holy moly, Boley!" Call or visit James Boley's local Geico office on South Florida Avenue today, or visit boleyinsurance.com.
CQ, 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 radio, electronics, and avionics fans. The pilots of the Lakeland Amateur Radio Club are running a special event demonstration radio station next to the Florida Air Museum gift shop. They are ready to share with you the excitement of amateur radio, and if you're a licensed operator, you can be on the air. As you walk from the food court to the museum, you'll see the big antennas on your left. 73 from Whiskey 4 Sierra.
Kick off Sun and Fun 2025 with an unforgettable opening night concert on the Warbird Ramp, sponsored by Wealth MD. On April 1st, 2025 at 6:30 p.m., Tyler Hubbard and Uncle Kracker take the stage for a country music celebration under the stars. Ditch the sneakers and throw on your cowboy or cowgirl boots. Make it the perfect date night or a night out with friends. Grab some great food and bring a blanket or chairs and sing along to your favorite hits surrounded by airplanes. This is a show you don't want to miss.
Sun and Fun and the Aerospace Center for Excellence are pursuing the mission of a brighter future through aviation with Project Stratos, an aviation leadership and art program. High school juniors submitted aviation-themed essays and original works of art. From the hundreds of entries, a pool of semifinalists and finalists were selected. You can spot these high achievers during the event wearing Project Stratos t-shirts and representing the future of aviation.
The Medical Hospitality Center is located on the corner of James C. Ray Drive and Tom Mack Drive, right across the street from the Piedmont 727. Their staff of highly qualified, professionally licensed doctors and nurses offer triage, suturing, intravenous rehydration, and minimal cardiac evaluation. They have sunscreen, blood pressure, and blood sugar testing, and a limited amount of over-the-counter items. Last year, they assisted with wound care, dehydration, headaches, blisters, insect bites, ear and eye.
And now back to Sun and Fun Radio Deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Trabo International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun at 51. This is pilot Jim G coming to you from the Sun and Fun Studio Deck, along with my co-host Randy Bibb. Hello again, Randy.
Hello, Jim. Looks like it's shaping up for a great air show day. The forecast is to go 4,000 scattered on those clouds, so that would be enough for a great air show. Offer a little shade and see an air show.
It's a good thing because the crowd here is pretty large and they keep coming. So it's going to be a big day here at Sun and Fun. And people come here from all over the world, Randy, as we know. We have an international greeting tent. And we get to learn about aviation in other countries. And I think we're about to learn something about aviation in the UK.
Yes, we have a young gentleman here from the UK, London, one of my very favorite cities in the world. We all love London. And Alfie is going to tell us about his journey here.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Jim and Randy. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. And for my first ever time in America and at Sun and Fun, it is completely amazing out here. Now, flying out here, I just flew commercial, as most people regularly do in a sense. However, it's been really interesting working in general aircraft camping section, where I've been witnessing international kind of arrivals from across the world, meeting tons of new people, all of who are some of the most amazing people I've probably ever met in my life.
So you're not only a first-time visitor, you're also a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get recruited to volunteer?
So I'm in the UK. I have a very close friend called James. James has came to Sun and Fun events for the last 12 years, And so he basically decided to ask me one day, would I like to come along to this event? And of course, hearing about such an experience and going to Florida for the first time, I was definitely very interested. And so, of course, as I think any regular person would do, I took him up on the offer. So me and James then flew out to the US from the UK. We arrived and immediately pretty much got to work on the airfield first thing on Sunday morning, helping set everything up that needed to be done, and of course just having fun.
And so you're volunteering with General Aviation Camping.
Mm-hmm, that's the area.
Right, which is the where the folks fly in their airplanes and camp right next to the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Big part of Sun and Fun.
Well, earlier, we were chatting, getting to know you before this interview, and we were, Jim and I were really interested in the industry in the UK, and we were trying to compare and contrast what we do here versus what you've seen there. Can you give us a little bit about the stark difference in the events?
Well, of course. So in the UK, air shows are a lot more tighter regulated. It isn't like such an open event like it is here, where you can, just walk up to any random plane you see and just go, wow, this is so cool. In the UK, there's lots of restrictions, guidelines, security, just to kind of help keep people safe. And a lot of the display aircraft, you rarely even see themselves, because they will typically at the air show do a flyover, do their stunts and acrobatics, and then they leave for their next airfield to, go refuel and leave. They don't really stay, and you don't really get to meet the crew. Whereas here, of course, I can walk under random planes and just look at them and admire them and see how amazing they are. I can also see how I can walk up to these display teams, meet them, greet them, see how they are, which I did yesterday with the Blue Angels, which was an incredible experience. And in the end, long term, there is, of course, safety regulations in the UK, but the air shows are still good. However, coming to Sun and Fun for the first time and seeing everything that's happening out here, it has blown my mind.
Well, we have plenty of safety regulations here, but we also have this fan worship thing going on, and we want to meet the performers, and we want to get a photo with them and get their autographs. And it sounds like you don't have quite that same interaction with the performers.
Oh yeah, no. So in the UK, these performers are very, of course, tightly guarded, and it is primarily for their safety long term. However, in the UK, it is a lot smaller than the US, and we don't have such massive stretches of airfield just lying around where we can actually host these events. Some of the air shows I've been to typically just occur in coastal cities around the UK, and you'll typically just see the display team fly over. And where, of course, they're flying inland to go to, refuel and stuff, it then becomes quite a journey for them to then come down to the coastal town to, of course, meet and greet the fans.
Gotcha.
The contrast there is pretty amazing. They do some great shows there in London. And Jim, it just shows, here's firsthand experience of how that interaction really lights a fire in a new experience. We don't know how blessed and fortunate we are to be here and to be able to do this here.
And that's partly why we have so many international visitors here. You also talked about your education, and you're in what we would call college at this point in your career, but it's a different educational system. And I think our listeners would like to hear about some of the differences. Can you describe that for us?
Well, school in the UK is very much like school in America, where you have a set curriculum, you'll study on set curriculum, and you'll kind of learn all of these different things. The main difference is when you're going from high school to university, or what you guys call college. Instead, in the UK, we go from high school or secondary school to a different form of college, in which we are basically given teasers for subjects we may want to study. So at my local college, I'm studying law, politics, and business. I find I'm really enjoying those subjects. However, where I'd never taken them in secondary school, I've then had an insight into these subjects and can now consider where I want to go moving on to university, or of course what you guys would call college long term.
So when you move on to university, you'll be in a more narrowly focused program at that point.
Most definitely.
Well, sounds like Alfie might be they might be trying to recruit him to the cadet corps there, and maybe even flying. So hopefully we can inspire you to maybe go take that flight and see what that might hold for you.
I mean, coming to Sun and Fun and meeting all of these pilots around the world and, helping marshal in all of these planes has really inspired me to actually consider becoming a pilot. It's becoming a really big consideration of mine, just seeing how cool it is to come to these events and, just have my own plane, fly into something like Sun and Fun next year or Oshkosh or something and see where it goes and just meet the people.
Jim, that's precisely what we're here for.
Exactly. For somebody your age, we would try to push you gently towards an aviation-based college curriculum. We do have undergraduate programs where you can major in aeronautical science and related fields. Do they have those studies in the UK?
They have those studies in the UK. However, one of the major differences between, of course, the US teaching of it and the UK teaching of it is the UK teaching of it is a lot more expensive. So for one lesson in the for one lesson in the UK is around $400, which is completely overpriced and quite ludicrous because we have to pay for the instructor, the fuel, landing fees, which you guys in America can do for free. So much, which is just out of the wind. And then we've, of course, been looking at lessons here in America, just floating around, and it is a lot cheaper. Half price, typically, even 3/4 of the price of what it is in the UK.
Yep. It's partly subsidized by fuel. We have an aviation fuel tax that helps pay for it. And we also have large private organizations like the Aerospace Center for Excellence that raise money. In fact, the event we're at, this enormous air show, fly-in and expo, raises money for aviation-based education. So if you can take that inspiration back and build that up, that would be a big benefit, a big plus.
100%, and of course, definitely, although I'm considering becoming a pilot and definitely wanting to learn more about aerobatics, I would definitely also consider going into politics in the UK. And if I was, I would definitely try raise that in Parliament and, of course, try get legislation changed or companies to lower their prices to make kind of aerospace activities more affordable for the regular person in the UK.
We've got about a minute left. The aerospace education gets young people into science and technology fields as well, even if they don't become pilots. So always take that back and widely publicize it.
Always. Thanks very much.
What's your favorite thing so far? What's your favorite thing that you've seen here?
Well, one of my favorite things I've seen here is definitely the display teams. They are just absolutely amazing. But I would also say that meeting all of these fabulous people here at Sun and Fun this year is probably the pin on the cake. It is absolutely amazing to meet all of these people.
Well, we're amazed to meet you. Alfie, you are a great example of future leadership, and we hope you'll be back to Sun and Fun many times.
Thank you.
Randy, we're going to take a few minutes off for some commercials, and we will be back at Sun and Fun Radio.
Hello, this is Seth from Central Florida Aerospace Academy. You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP 788, 1510 AM, and online at liveatc.net/SNF.
Country music fans, get ready. On Tuesday, April 1st, Tyler Hubbard and Uncle Kracker are bringing the party to Sun and Fun 51. With an incredible 22 #1 hits, Tyler Hubbard will light up the stage with smash songs like 5'9" and Back Then Right Now. Plus, multi-platinum artist Uncle Kracker joins the fun, bringing his signature sound and fan-favorite hits like Follow Me and When the Sun Goes Down. The concert is free with your Sun and Fun admission. Gates open at 6 p.m. on the Warbird ramp.
If you missed it last year, now's your chance to witness the most epic night of entertainment in the sky. Sun and Fun 51 is taking the night air show to the next level with an electrifying fireworks celebration featuring drones, lasers, airplanes, pyrotechnics, and more. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind aerial spectacle where the sky is the stage and the show is like nothing you've ever seen before. Wednesday, April 2nd and Saturday, April 5th at dusk at Sun and Fun.
Imagine ordering medicine for a sick child and having it delivered to your home in just 30 minutes. That's the future of delivery with Wing Aviation, already serving Dallas and expanding soon. With over 450,000 successful deliveries worldwide, Wing is revolutionizing convenience for busy parents, shift workers, and those with mobility challenges. See their cutting-edge aircraft and technology in action all week at Sun and Fun. You can learn more and find out when they're coming to your area at wing.com/Florida.
Hey everybody! Sun and Fun has invested in providing a better Wi-Fi experience for its guests. We are pleased to offer free Wi-Fi in most of the core areas of our campus. Just sign into the network named SNF Free. That's SNF Free.
Hey kids, are you interested in learning about science or parachutes? If you are between grades K through 6, you can attend a Piedmont Aerospace Labs workshop. These exciting labs run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily in the Kids Zone, located at the front entrance. The Kids Zone is also packed with many more cool aviation-themed activities, including a rock wall, obstacle course, space shuttle slide, combat trainer, and much more. Remember, the Kids Zone is located near the front entrance. For more information about ride ticket requirements and prices, visit flysnf.org.
Looking for the perfect gift or souvenir? Airport Mugs just landed with premium ceramic mugs featuring all Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airport codes in America. Airport mugs are printed with your favorite airport code on one side and runway sectional information on the other. Use discount code MUGS20 at checkout for 20% off. Visit airportmugs.com. That's airport-mugs.com today and elevate your hot or cold beverage experience. Need a pick-me-up? Swing by Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, your official coffee sponsor of Sun and Fun. You can find them in Hangar A at booth A1 or on the flight line across from Coconut Flyers. They're giving back. 10% of all sales in Hangar A and 25% of Flight Line Cup sales go to Sun and Fun's nonprofit. And for all of April, 10% of online sales at legendaryroasters.com supports the cause. Sip, enjoy, and make a difference, one legendary cup at a time.
Enjoying all the aircraft is one of the leading reasons people come to Sun and Fun, and we are pleased to open Flightline access to all of our guests. However, please help protect people and aircraft by following a few simple rules. Warning: aircraft in motion have spinning propellers that are very dangerous and hard to see. Please avoid all moving aircraft. Do not touch aircraft without the owner's permission. Always be aware of belt buckles, cameras, and other hard objects that could scratch or dent the airplane. For the complete set of rules, please go to flysnf.org. Have a great time this year.
You can help save lives by donating blood at the Big Red Bus at this year's Sun and Fun Fly-In. You could literally be saving the life of a hospital patient. The annual Sun and Fun Fly-In blood drive is Tuesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Each day is a great opportunity to help others. All blood donors receive a custom Sun and Fun Fly-In t-shirt plus a $20 e-gift card. You can make an appointment to donate blood at oneblood.org/sunandfun and share your power to save lives.
Just a few words of etiquette for the fire hub located in the campground. The fire hub area is provided for the enjoyment of guests and volunteers who are camping in the Sun and Fun campground. The wood supply is for the fire pit only. Please do not take the wood for individual campsite use. Ground fires are not permitted in the campground unless in approved above-ground campfire containers. Do not add flammable liquids or excessive...
And now, back to the Sun and Fun Radio Deck, brought to you in part by the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport.
Welcome back to Chats from the Deck Live, coming to you from the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida. Let's turn up the fun at 51. This is Pilot Jim G coming to you once again from the deck of the on deck studio of the Sun and Fun radio station with my co-host Jack Hodgson. Jack, hello again on this nice warm afternoon.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, it is getting warm. Fortunately, if you get in the right spot, there's a breeze which can kind of mitigate it a little bit. But it's a beautiful but warm day here at Sun and Fun 2025.
Jack, we're joined on the deck at this time by two lovely ladies from the Asian Women Aerospace and Aviation Association.
Yes.
And
a very interesting thing what they're up. So I'm gonna. Please forgive me. I'm going to try to do my best with your names, but it's Antu Nguyen.
That's correct. Thank
Is
you.
that right?
Yes.
If you could get closer to that microphone, we'll be able to hear you a little bit better. Just
There.
pull it towards you, and there you go. Thank you. And you are here with. Introduce us to your friend here, your co-member.
Colleague, I think is the word you're
that's
looking
the word
for.
I was looking for. Thank you very much. Please introduce us.
Thank you very much, Jack and Jim. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to promote our organization.
You're very welcome.
My name is Antu Nguyen, and I'm the founding president of the nonprofit 501c3 organization called Asian Women in Aerospace and Aviation. and this is my private student here. Her name is Nui, and our mission here is at the organization is to encourage, empower, and engage the next generation of Asian female pilots, aerospace engineer. I'm an aerospace engineer myself, and STEM professionals. There is a very short or small percentage of us out there in these industries, and we want to promote these career paths to our community because in general in our community and culturally, we Asian women are not empowered or encouraged to do something different. And so I want to bring this to light, and I want to show our community that it is very possible and there is room for us here, and we love the aviation community, and I love what this community has done for me, and I want to give that opportunity to the next generation, such as my student here.
That sounds terrific. We, of course, are very involved in talking all the time with the Women in Aviation organization here. How does your organization compare to that?
Yes, so the Women in Aviation organization has been in existence for a very long time, and obviously there is room for us there, but culturally we are a smaller group of Asian female pilots, and we want to have that support system where we feel that we have that we feel safe to talk about what we want and to talk about the challenges within our family unit and our challenges personally, culturally, the challenges that we face on a daily basis with our parents and how that affects our training. Because personally myself, when I started training, I was completely discouraged from doing so. My family didn't believe that I could have a career in aviation, and they tried to talk me out of it, and I had to basically hide it from them that I was doing this, and this continues to happen today, unfortunately. So we want to shed a light in this circumstance, and I want to share my story with other girls out there, and I want to tell them that even though our families are not supportive of our mission and our goals in aviation, but we are your aviation family, and we're here to help you, and we're here to support you, and there is room for you here for you to grow and to have a complete professional life in aviation and make it a lifelong passion.
Yeah. Nui, what was your experience? Did you run into these kinds of barriers? I bet you did. Please tell us a little bit about what it was like when you decided that you wanted to pursue this kind of stuff.
Thank you for having me at Sun and Fun Radio.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
My name is Nui, and I'm a high school student. I started my aviation journey last year after running to Antu booth at Sun and Fun 2024.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and she encouraged me to start my aviation journey. She was like, "Oh, you're just 17. Yes, that's just like the right age to start flying." I was like, "Oh yes, I actually took my discovery flight when I was 16, and that at that moment it felt magical because I have been a passenger on flights all this time, but it's just different when I become like the pilot of the aircraft instead."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's the feeling of being able to fly and see the whole world. It's a different feeling. So that's when I decided that I want to become a pilot.
Were your family and friends supportive of this goal of yours?
Yes, I was very fortunate to have very supportive parents. So yes, they do support
Excellent.
me.
How far along are you in your flight training?
I just started, but at the beginning of this year in January, I passed the FAA private pilot written test.
The written test, okay.
Yes.
Congratulations, very good.
Thank you very much.
And presumably you've started your flight training.
Yes, I have not started yet because I'm still in high school.
Ah, okay.
But I plan to start flying after high school, so this summer, and hopefully I will get my check ride done by the end of the summer.
Good
Thank
for you. Keep it up. Go for it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Antu, so how does her experience compare to other young women from similar cultures?
I think she's been very fortunate to have a stepdad, Mark, who is incredible. He is a military, or he was a military pilot himself. So she has, a fatherly figure who's there for her to support her. And then her mother is also very supportive. And her mother is obviously much younger than my mother, so she's from a younger generation. And with that said, it comes with a different mindset. Whereas in my family, at the time that I started, it was very, very difficult for us to even talk about it, to have this conversation,
Yeah.
I'll give you a very silly example. I actually went to Purdue University to do aerospace engineering. And I graduated from there. But even before I started, I told my mom, I'm going to go to Purdue and pursue aerospace engineering. My mom started to cry,
Oh.
She's like, I want you to become a doctor, So it's a very different culture. And so if you're not from within this culture, it's very strange,
Yeah.
To have this kind of perception.
And so, how is your organization? What techniques are you using in order to try and overcome some of these cultural, inertia?
Yeah, so we have different programs in our organization. We provide students discounted flight training, mentorship, and scholarships, and we have support systems where we meet mostly weekly. We have weekly meetings where we gather and we talk about our experiences, our struggles, and our goals, and we focus mostly on the positive things and strategize how to move forward from where we are. Now that we have professional pilots in our organization who are, pilots in the majors, who are cargo pilots like myself. We have a number of professional pilots in the org to support our students from zero to hero and to give them the training and the support network that they need to succeed and to get them to where they need to go.
How many students do you work with?
I work with about 200
Wow. Okay.
Asian female students.
That's terrific. Well, good luck to you, and congratulations on the work you're doing. Are you here someplace where people can come and find you and chat with you?
Oh, I love that question, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, we're right outside of between hangars B, Bravo, and C, Bravo and Charlie. So if you walk outside the hangars towards the end, you'll see us. We're booth number 44 towards the flight line.
Okay. Yeah. And can people find you on the internet someplace? Do you have an online presence?
Yes, thank you. My handle is pilot_ANH_THU. And our organization handle is Asian Women in Aerospace and Aviation, and our website is www.awa2.org. And we would love for you guys to come and visit us.
That would be great. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Antu, Nguyen, and Nui are here, and that's fascinating stuff. Good luck to you. Best of luck.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're doing such a great job for so many people. I think that's a really good thing to publicize. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. This is the Big Finish, Jim. We're actually ending our live interview day here.
We are.
And about to very quickly go off to the air show.
Well, thank you all for listening to Sun and Fun Radio. This is Pilot Jim G with
Jack Hodgson.
We'll see you next time.
You are listening to Sun and Fun Radio, WPEP.